It's your neighborhood laser lady, and if you have a laser, I think you should be making your own laser designs. It's super easy, especially with a free program called Inkscape. So whether you are brand new to Inkscape or want to spruce up some of your Inkscape skills, we are going to make 5 easy projects today, and I'm going to teach you everything that you need to know. So let's just dive right into it. Spring is in the air, so let's make some plant stakes. Boring, maybe, but do they make a great gift? Absolutely. The first thing we are going to do is select the topmost square icon in the vertical bar on the left. If you hover over it, it will say Create Rectangles and Squares. Then you know it's the right one. Drag a long rectangle shape. No need to be specific, that is going to come up next. If your shape is a weird color like mine, it just happens to be set to the last settings you had. So to change that, we need to go up to Object and down to Fill and Stroke. A pop-up will come up on the right-hand side with a few tabs and toggles. You can then select the Fill color under the Fill tab. The Stroke tab is where you can change the color of the outline, and the Stroke Style tab is where you can alter the line width. Once that is settled to your liking, select your rectangle and find the measurement boxes above with the W and H. In between there is a lock icon, and we want that in the unlocked position. The type of measurement can be selected in this drop-down menu, and I'm going to go with inches. We can now put in specific measurements that we want our plant labels. I want mine to be 6 inches wide and 1/2 inch tall. I also want the corners slightly rounded. This is super easy. Just double click on your rectangle. You should now see a square in the corners along with a circle in a corner. Hold the circle and drag it up and down to round the corners. Next, we want the stake part of the plant to be pokey. To do this, we just select the rectangle, go up to Path and down to Object to Path. This will turn it into an object we can manipulate. Double click on the rectangle and there will now be circles on the line on the rounded corners and anywhere else there's a point. I'm just going to drag one of these circles over to make the start of my pokey part and another dot down. If you need to add dots, simply double click on the line to put one there, and to delete, select the dot and hit the delete key. Pretty easy. Now these are looking like plant stakes. We just need to label them. I want a fun font, and my go-to place for absolutely no strings attached fonts is dafont.com. I looked for a typewriter style font and downloaded it into my font file. Using the font button on the vertical left-hand bar, it looks like a capital A. The mouse turns into the A, and then you can click anywhere to start typing. I typed in broccoli. To get it centered on the plant stake, I select both the plant stake and the word, went up to Object, and then down to Align and Distribute at the very bottom. This pops up on the right, and we can select this icon to align these two objects in the middle. I'm going to make a few more by copy and pasting them down and changing out the words. They engrave and cut super fast. I like to use a clear color to engrave upon. I chose pink to contrast the plants a little bit. To clean up the engraving area, I used a bit of Novus No. 2 plastic polish. If you do anything with acrylics, you need this stuff on hand. Now, these make great gifts for plant people, and I'm a plant person, so I know from experience. If you thought this one was easy, then it's time for the second project. Being able to make little pendants is crucial. Not only can you fit these in around other laser projects, filling up that extra space, but they pack a profit. To make some flower charms for earrings, we need to draw a circle. The circle button is right under that rectangle one we are so familiar with now. To make a perfect circle, hold down the Control key while you drag it out. The size doesn't matter yet, we can alter that later. Now I'm going to make a few copies of this circle. The 2 middle flower petals I would like to be aligned, so we can use the align bar on the right left over from opening it in the last project. You can align these from the bottom or the middle since they're the same size. Then I select all the petals and distribute them evenly with the Distribute Horizontally button. For the bottom petals, we copy and paste 2 more and go through the similar steps by aligning. I kept nudging everything and aligning and distributing until it was even and I liked the look of it. It's a great practice piece to learn about all these buttons and what they do. Now I want the bottom 2 petals to be perfectly aligned with the top petal. To do this, I select the 2 bottom petals, go up to Path and down to Union. You can use the union function again with the middle 2 petals, even though they're not overlapped. Now I can select everything and align them down the middle vertically. Once everything is selected, go up to Union again, and now they are all one shape. We want the middle shape gone, so while the flower is selected, go back up to Path and down to Break Apart. You can now select the middle shape and delete it. We just need a little hole in the middle and a hang hole now. You get the concept of aligning things, so once everything is aligned vertically, select it all and group it together by selecting Group under the Objects tab, right-clicking and selecting Group, or pressing the Ctrl and G key at the same time. Now I just need to adjust the size and laser it out. If you use acrylic like I did here, one way to get that masking paper off easier is with a bit of strong duct tape, like this Gorilla Tape. It's my favorite. Like I said before, it's great to add little things such as jewelry to your crafting list. It helps to use up those extra little bits of acrylic and wood, so there is no waste. Plus, they're super cute. Did you know if you own a laser, you are legally obligated to make coasters at least once? This Beehive coaster looks hard to design, but it's not, and I can prove it. Now we've done a rectangle, we've done a circle, it's time to whip out some hexagons. Select the polygon shape button underneath the circle on the left. Before we draw out a shape, make sure the polygon shape is selected up on that top bar, along with 6 corners. Hold down the Control key while you drag out your hexagon to make all the sides parallel. If you'd like to round things out a bit, you can do that up at that top bar too. I went with 0.05 on the rounded scale. Now it's time to make a bunch of little baby hexagons for the middle. I just drew out another hexagon holding down that Control key. Make sure you select the mouse icon in the left bar and now double click that tiny hexagon. The pointing out arrows in the corner will turn into rounded arrows and allow you to rotate it. If you hold the Control key while you rotate it, you can make sure it clicks into place. Now I just copy and paste a whole bunch of these little fellas. Using what we know about aligning and distributing, I get these in order. With a whole lot more of copy and pasting going on, I then went and grouped each line of hexagons so I could then distribute them vertically. If you're not too worried about it, then totally skip it. You know, bees aren't perfect and neither are we. Now it's time for a little bit of magic. Make a copy on top of the big hexagon by pressing Control and then D, and then take a corner and scale it down while you hold the Shift button so it all scales down evenly. Now we're going to set that aside. Make sure you have all the tiny hexagons ungrouped, and while they are still selected, go up to Path and down to Union. Now center the grouped little hexagons with that shrunk down bigger hexagon with your Align tools. While they are both selected, go up to Path and now down to Intersection. Ta-da! Now you just need to center this in that original big hexagon. Adjust the size to a coaster size, or maybe a little bigger for a plant pot to sit on, decorative bowl, or this is a cute idea, a honey pot. Get out of here. Sky's the limit. I then cut mine out of this MDF core real bamboo wood from Craft Closet. Of course, I'll have links for all of these supplies down below. I just sanded off the scorch marks and it's all done. We just need to learn a few more tricks with this next project for the grand finale. Did you know if you own a laser, you are legally obligated to make a drink stir stick at least once? Okay, jokes aside, this project highlights how to alter text to be cut lines, so let's get to it. Believe it or not, you are already capable of making this stir stick shape with the lessons we've already learned. Just make a rectangle, make it the size you want. I went with 6.5 inches tall and 0.35 inches wide. Draw out a little circle for the bottom, then align it. Copy one of those flower earring shapes, ungroup the main flower shape from those holes, and align that too. Now select everything and combine it with that union function. Here's the new thing we need to know. Type out your word or initials. When we are cutting out our letters, pay mind to the font so you don't lose whole chunks of your text. Luckily, LL for Laser Lady works here perfectly. I am just going to need to adjust the letter spacing a little bit first. To do that, I select the letters, go up to Path and down to Object to Path, and now you can ungroup them and nudge them around a little bit. To make the text a cut line, all we need to do is select the letters, hold the Shift key and select a color along the bottom color bar, or select a color under the Stroke Paint tab in the Fill and Stroke tab in the right side control panel. This will create an outline around your letters. Now you can clear out the color in the same fashion. Using the leftmost white box, the one with the red X in it, along the bottom color bar will clear out the color of the letters, or under the Fill tab, you can clear out the fill as well. You can adjust the width of the line along with everything else in the Stroke Style tab, and there you have it. This cuts out quickly, and in typical laser lady fashion, I need to make it a little bit extra with some heat shaping. Now we know everything we need for the final project and one of the most popular things you can do with your laser. Being able to make your own layered laser cut sign is a huge step, but now we know everything we need to master it. To save us all some time, let's just glide right over the process. First, we are going to make a nice big circle and start fiddling with some text. I know I want it to say, "Beware of chaos gardening." I want all the letters except for the word chaos to be engraved in the main circle. Chaos will be cut out and layered on top. To keep all the letters together, I am going to choose a cursive style font. I want to nudge these all together a little bit, so I select the word and go up to Path and down to Object to Path. After I ungroup it, I can move the individual letters around, just like that stir stick. Now I select the whole word and go up to Path and down to Union. I then just outline it with a cut line like we just learned how to do, and we're ready to keep designing. Using the flower shape from the earrings, I get rid of that hang hole and make a few copies and place them around the sign. These will be cut out separate as well. I put a hang hole in the main circle, and then there's a little bit more fiddling with the placement, and then I decide I want some lines engraved in the middle. Why not? I make some thin rectangles, then align them and distribute them. I union them together, make a duplicate of the large circle with Control and then D, and having the extra circle selected along with the rectangles, I go up to Path and down to Intersection. I select the outline rectangles that now fit inside the circle and then clear out the blue outline and fill it with black so it is engraved. Or, however your laser likes things so it engraves it. They all have their own little personalities, don't they? Now I can go in and make all the cut line colors match along with the width of the lines, so they are ready to cut out. I am using regular wood for this. This wood takes on paint and stain really well. I just need to sand it down a little bit. And to paint the lines, the chaos word, and the flowers, I use my handy Sharpie oil paint pens. Any type of paint or paint pens are going to be great for this. I glue the little bits in place, and once it's dry, I go over it with a bit of stain and finish it up with some clear spray varnish. I like a rustic look, but obviously your sign will reflect your unique art style. Knowing these basic functions in Inkscape will allow you to make your own laser cut files. There are always more than one way to come up with the same result, and in time, you will find even faster ways to do all of this. If you would like to learn how to alter ready-made files to suit your material specifications, or just want to keep this learning train chugging along, then check out this playlist. Thanks for making it this far in, and happy crafting!